I guess now would be a good time to go over the 37 install that I did. Got new wheels and tires put on about a week ago, I think. A little over a week ago. So far I love them. They ride good, they're quiet. They're the same tire I had, they're just a 37. These ones are the Maxxis Razor ATs again, and then they're on 17 by 8.5 inch method double standards with a 0 offset, which is like I think 475 back spacing. As you can tell, just like dang near flush with the fender flare. The sidewall sticks out is about it. Yeah, they're meaty, they're aggressive, they're quiet in relation to the factory Duratrax. I think it looks great. I think it finally looks how kind of the idea I had for this truck. It is still a little raked out, like the rear's still higher, just because it's got just a 1.5 inch level up front. Probably gonna keep that for a bit. I do plan on, I think I'm gonna do the Carly backcountry kit, and then keep the factory rear springs for towing, and then do all the upgraded front end stuff. Just, I've been hearing the lead times on all that stuff's like 6 months out, so I have to wait anyways, so I figured I might as well just wait it overall. But yeah, they rub a little bit. I'll show you right where they are, which I can fix that in about 5 minutes with a razor blade, but actually this side's not even rubbing, like maybe a little bit right there on the factory splash guard. But if your truck didn't have those, I can't imagine they'd rub there. But you can see on this side, that clean spot is from the tire just barely touching it when you turn, which isn't a big deal. Pretty moderate. Like I said, I could touch it up real quick with a knife, but I just hasn't bothered me enough yet. One thing about these tires, they're 37, 12, 5, 17. They're only a D-ply, or D-range, I guess, 8-ply, which I'm sure people with with 1 tons that, you know, will only ever buy 10 plies will argue and say I'm dangerous for using it. But actually, granted, the other ones I had were 12 plies in the 35s, so their load rating was just under 4,000 pounds at 80 psi. These ones, the load rating's at 3,600 pounds at 50 psi. So, which is less, but if you think about people who put 35, 12, 5, 17s on trucks, or even if you get a 10 ply, some 10 plies are only 3,100 pound rated. So these ones are actually more load rated than a 10 ply in some cases. So, I mean, some people will say that the sidewalls will give you more flex, but that's kind of what the whole point of a bigger tire and a smaller rim is to get that comfort from it. The what is it? Small bump compliancy. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm not worried about it. I've already towed a couple 1,000 pounds on a gooseneck. I've been regularly having a couple 100 pounds payload in the bed, and it hasn't done anything bad, or I'm not worried about anything. But yeah, just figured I'd give my 2 cents on this particular setup, because some people are always on the fence about, you know, oh, the only tire I can find is in an 8-ply, and my truck's a 1 ton, that's dangerous or whatever. But you got to look at the numbers, you got to look at the load rating, and then you got to compare it, because like BFGs, if you look at the KM3 in a 35, 12, 5, 18, which a lot of guys would go buy and throw right on their stock Tremor wheels, those are only rated at 3,100 pounds, and it's a 10-ply. So in the back of their mind, they think they're safe because they have a 10-ply. But honestly, up front, or in reality, they have less tow rating or less weight capacity than these do, and they're an 8-ply. So just something to think about. To follow up with your with the Tremor wheels and tire package and winch review, I did a little bit of winching with it. I didn't video it. I was kind of blocking up traffic, so I didn't spend a lot of time doing it. But basically, yeah, my truck came with the winch. Wasn't super thrilled with the install by the dealership, but it's kind of what I figured once I found out it was a dealer install item. But ultimately, it was it works. I mean, I used it to winch my race truck on the trailer a few weeks ago, and the only issue I had is I side loaded the shit out of it, and it balled up on one end. So it kind of slowed down, but I just winched it out and kind of straightened it out a little bit. But also, there's people talking about there's some factory bolts underneath it for the valance, I believe, that have kind of a step on them, kind of like I'll show you right now. I got one right here. Kind of like this little square end on it. Um, they can tear into the rope as you're winching in, and a lot of people are complaining about it. There's some other videos about it, but I took mine out and I just kind of took them to a bench grinder and then smoothed them out really good. And for so far I can tell they're fine. But yeah, I just didn't really do a whole lot of off-roading with the winch. I haven't needed it. But just to give anybody kind of an answer if they're looking to get one, I would. If you're, I mean, it's like a tool, you know. I mean, I was able to sit inside my truck that was dead and winch it backwards onto a trailer with me in the cab with the wireless remote. So it was pretty cool. I didn't need to have someone else there to do it for me or push me or something. So definitely pretty neat feature for what it is. A lot of people don't want to spend the money, but then again, nobody really wants to spend any of the money on these trucks, or trucks in general. But yeah, that kind of summarizes my whole review on the winch. I've been so busy I haven't had time to really get out in the thing and do anything crazy with it. We did tow like 3,000 miles round trip to Indianapolis and back for a drag race, and aside from the excessive DEF usage, it did pretty good. Plenty of power. Just like to drink fuel in DEF, which is the name of the game right now with the power level that it has. So definitely recommend it. And I mean, I did it on those same D-range tires and didn't have a single problem. I monitored the pressure a lot of the times and it stayed right around 50, 55 when it got warmer. But definitely not a single issue in the world with that setup. So if you're on the fence about doing a D-range just to get the tire you want, I wouldn't worry about it. Pretty solid setup.